Hi, my name is Kathy, and I'm doing this video um, because I'm in need of help. Uh, I know at this time there's so many people that need help. So many people have been hurt by the pandemic and have lost their livelihoods or loved ones. And I lost my mom and dad a year ago, November. My mom has been my best friend forever. We've done projects forever. My dad was my hero. And I learned so much from him, tinkering with stuff in the garage and cooking. He was an excellent cook with spices. So what I need help with is after my mom and dad died, the home, which is, you kind of see it behind me, went into probate, and then the pandemic hit and everything got postponed. The courts closed, and then it went to virtual, and it's just a nightmare. Then my sister and brothers and we all started fighting. It's just a traumatic thing. I would have never in a million years thought that things would end up like this. Just the viciousness of the whole thing. My passion is this house. My older brother and I don't want to sell it. And there's so much here. If you would just take one moment to listen to this story, so you understand why this place is so important to me. And it really is important to all of us. They just don't realize it yet. Back in the 70s, my mom and dad bought this piece of property. My dad worked for LAPD, and he worked side security jobs to save money for their house they wanted to build here. This is where my mom's grandparents lived. There's lots of history here in Atascadero for my family. My older brother and I lived up here already. We moved up here. I think I moved up here when my first son was 4 years old. So my mom and dad saved for 20 years, building stuff and collecting stuff. And mom had a pod. She'd put things in because the garage got so full of doors and windows and things for this house. The whole house was built around stuff that she had. Her bedroom was built to accommodate her bedroom set. She even took out the closet so the ammo would fit on that wall, on the one wall. So in the 90s, before the house was built, she was talking about it, and like, okay, I'm going to go to construction technology courses at Cuesta College just so I know more about what we're going to be doing, because I was here and I was going to oversee everything for her because she was still in the valley. Those were so much fun, those classes. And the teacher would ask questions, and I'd always raise my hand, and he would say, does anybody else know the answer to the question besides Kathy? Because we all know she knows the answer to the question. Those were such fabulous times. So after the courses, and the teacher had informed me, because I'd always talk, oh, my mom's going to build a house. He said, the school's going to build a house from start to finish. Get your mom's plan and submit them, and let's see what happens. And so I did, and they picked it. My mom's house had everything you'd want to know. I mean, it was a raised foundation, 2-story house, the 3-car garage with a bonus room upstairs, Greek returns, and that on the garage had these huge grade beams. And we had to go down like 6 feet to bedrock. I remember walking in those trenches. It was just scary. It was, it had 12-pitch roof. All the stuff that we did. And the rocks. Oh, we had to rent jackhammers just to get the rocks out. But it was such a learning experience. And it was really fantastic to be part of building this thing and being part of my mom and dad's dream. And it was great. Like, this is a picture of my mom with the teachers from the school. Yeah, she was having she'd just come up on the weekends with Dad, and they would have so much fun working on the little things that were up and going. This is a picture of me when we were digging the rock out with pry bars, and then we ended up renting the jackhammers because I was like, can't we use dynamite? Can't we just blow it? Teacher says, oh no. And then this is a picture of me digging more rocks by the backhoe. That backhoe, we broke the tooth off the bucket, which is still sitting here in the yard right behind me, down below, by the big redwood tree. It's got to make it into a planter. And this picture was the last time my grandmother saw this place because she died. I lived with her. I took care of my grandparents before I took care of my mom and dad. Now I'm taking care of my brother. I really wish she could have seen the house done. So many good times working here. And here's Mom. She was working on the Greek returns. Those really added such a beautiful effect to the house. It was really neat. It's the garage. Me and Mom are in the corner up on the roof looking at plans while they're building. And I had tons of hands-on moments on this house. There's me and my dad and my uncle. You know, they were always by the garage. Dad's man cave was in there. That was his garage. That was his baby. Oh, this is when Mom and I were doing the moisture barrier on the block walls that were on the garage that went down. We did the moisture barrier and the French drains. There was so much to do. Oh, and this was the steel posts that held the headers to the garage doors, and the grade beams were down in there. There was so much cement and work in that. This is when it was getting close to being wrapped up. It's a neat place. It still is. My heart and soul are in every blade of grass, every inch of dirt, every tree, every stick of lumber. I've done the hardwood floors. I've done tile work here in the laundry room and in the foyer. I built the bar upstairs. This is what the garage kind of looked like before the doors went in. There's custom leaded glass that we did in those windows because my mom had a leaded glass business. There's leaded glass throughout this house. This is a view down the driveway. It's kind of long. It's beautiful. There's a different view with the backhoe in the picture. This is a picture of Mom and I. She was looking at some plans that she made the front stairs coming down that she liked. We didn't end up doing that, but she always wanted to change it because it was so important. It was so one of her many, many ideas. And this shot is the same shot behind me, except you can't see it behind the maple tree. There's this window has my grandmother's cake plate in it. Just looking at the side of the house, the breakfast room and the patio. These are the archways that I designed. It was in the foyer. One went to the living room, and the other one was into the dining room. Mom loved them. They came out pretty. That was really fun to make because I didn't know how to do it, and it was rather simple. But the effect was great. This is a picture of my dad on the staircase to the front door. He ended up falling down that and breaking his wrist one day because it was icy. Poor Daddy. And this one is kind of a shot of the front of the house. There's a big angel window and right here, an antique one my mom had collected. I still need to do these windows, so it's next on the list. Yeah, this is the one. This window right here is right there in the breakfast room. This is the back patio. So there's just a view of the garage with the house being built. This is stuff that my mom and I did. My mom and I and my dad. I was here every day for 2 years while the school built this house. I had hands on everything. The grading, when they put in the septic unit, when they did the garage, when we did the framing. I was standing up on the top rail of the library of this room, way up here. I was standing on that 2x4. I didn't do it for long because I was like 6 months pregnant, and I said, oh, I shouldn't be up here, and that was the last time I got up that high. This is why this place is so important to save for me. I'm a very small person. I work at a local grocery store. I don't make thousands and thousands of dollars. I make enough to pay the bills here. I pay the mortgage that's due that my mom and dad left on the house. I'm paying all the bills. I'm doing all the work. I do all the weed eating, which my brother and I started, and it's back behind me. I've planted all these fruit trees that are mature, and last year I canned 60 jars of jam. All of it we're going to lose. If they force the sale of our home, I will lose everything. Everything that my mom and dad and I worked for. Well, they worked for it, but I helped them create. It might sound petty, but I don't have anywhere to go but here. This is everything to me. My boys were raised here. This is their home. They don't know any place else because they were so young. My animals are here. My cats and dogs and chickens. All of my gardens that I created. Mom always loved it because it was always fresh tomatoes and made fresh salsa and all the fruit we'd cut up and have with dinner. All the memories. Sitting in the house with Dad and Mom, having coffee in the morning, reading the paper, talking to Dad in the garage every day about this or that. All the memories. They want to sell it for a percentage. There's nothing here you can buy for what you would get. I would have to move out of state, which would mean moving away from my sons, which are the most important thing to me in my whole life, besides this house. So I would lose everything. I'm asking for help. It is so painful to feel this way for this long. The duration, I've lost, just from the stress, I've lost 30 pounds. And that's nice. But the way that I've lost it is just all wrong. It's just all wrong. I just want things back to normal. My brother and sister don't realize the regret that they will feel if they sell this house. And I know that firsthand because my mom talked about that all the time because she had to sell her mom's house that she didn't want to because her brothers wanted their share. And I can't blame them for wanting that, but they don't even know how lucky they are to have what they have. My brother has 3 homes, each probably worth $1 million. A fishing boat, and drives around a Land Rover. And he worked very hard to get it in his practice, his medical practice. My sister has a beautiful 4-bedroom house and horses, which I take care of, and a camper. And they don't realize how fortunate they are because they're not losing anything. Just me. Just me. All the hard work of my mom and I and my dad and the school did here that taught so many people so many things. It was just a treasure to be a part of that. And I don't want it to end. We're not done yet. There's so much more to do, more windows to make, more trees to plant, more memories to be had. If they force a sale, they'll be look back, it'll be too late. And then finally the regret hits them and says, we shouldn't have done it, and then it's going to be too late. I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be away from my boys. My son just bought me a bike for Christmas that we go riding around the lake. Not having that will really suck. So I'm asking for help. I don't have social media. I'm a quiet person. I'm a protector like my dad. Taking care of my grandparents and taking care of my mom and dad. My dad's death was very slow. My mom's happened overnight. One day she was happy and laughing, the next day she died. It was horrible. And this is the house behind me. Sorry about, I just get very emotional. And I was sitting in my window thinking, what is this feeling? This was quite a while after my mom and dad died, when everybody started fighting. I was thinking, what is this feeling? I've never felt this. Of all the feelings you could have, I've never felt this. I was thinking, this is despair. I looked it up and it said, a complete loss or absence of hope. And I went, wow, I wouldn't wish this feeling, this despair, not having hope on anybody, because it's a horribly intense emotion that is just soul crushing. I don't want it. So I'm asking for contributions to my GoFundMe. I'm not even asking, I'm begging. To my GoFundMe campaign, which will be in comment section below. If I can figure out how to post this. I hope I relayed my compassion, my passion, my feelings for this place. This isn't something you'd want to lose. This is everything of our family is here. I can't even imagine that they would want to just dump it. Even the stuff from my grandparents is here. The rocks and Maggie's rocks she used to carry around that my grandfather carved her name in. My dad's LAPD belt buckle in the cement in front of the main stairs, the staircase I showed you that he fell on. My boy's handprints are here. Our life is here. I just need help to buy out my brother and sister. And I don't think that's selfish, because I'm doing it for them too, so they won't feel that regret. So I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my video. Any help would be appreciated. I'm running out of time. He wants to bring estate people in here at the end of this month to get rid of everything. And I'm like, why would you want to get rid of our family's history? It's wrong. So I appreciate you listening. Maybe you can help save our future, my future. Like I said, I'm just a little person looking for hope. So there's the yard. I'm sitting up on the hill overlooking that. It's the side of the house, kind of in the backyard. With you can't see them, but the animals are, my entourage is all around me. And I don't know, they're just my old dog. He's 13. He's not doing well. It's hard for him to walk. There's the yard. Way over there on a rock is, probably can't see this, one of my cats. The fruit trees are out front. There's the bucket for the backhoe down there by the rocks, by the redwood tree. Anyway, thanks again for listening, and I would appreciate any help possible. Thank you.